Hello folks, Junkie Rock 13 here, everything vaping related, Junkie Rock 13. My real name is Ross Sanders, and today I'm bringing you a look at the fully mechanical device known as the Smok Natural. This device was sent to me for review purposes from Exhale Vapors. I'm going to take a close look at it, see what I think about it, and let's get right to it. Okay folks, so here is the close-up of the Smok Natural. It is fully disassembled. I'm just going to discuss in no specific order. I just have it designed in the smallest to largest. But I'm going to start off with the top cap. It is a 510 connection. You're going to notice that this is not perfectly flat with the top cap, so the 510 connection piece in here is coming up a little bit higher than the top cap piece. This is all made out of stainless steel. There are little air grooves into the 510 connection piece here for devices that sit flat, and this will allow for air to get in there. The center pin is adjustable. It is a flat stainless steel screw here, so it is adjustable. Will come up and down with depending on the device that you put in there, if you want to bring it down for a more cleaner look. Okay, I'm just going to bring it all the way up for now. The threading on here is very nice and clean. There are some pits all the way around, kind of the Provari little pit look. Very large, deep drip well in there. Okay. The thing about these Smok Tech Naturals is that you can put like devices like the Inokin iClear 16 on, and it will fit, of course. Now there is no ego threading, so for devices like the Kangaroo T3 will not even fit into that drip well in there. Okay. The EVOD, the same story. Let me just take off that. The EVOD, the same story. It does fit in there, but it will not screw on because there are no ego threading. If you took a 510 to ego connector and screwed it in there, you can obviously use it that way, and you can adjust the connector to bring it down further if you would like to. Okay, so let me just take this off and throw these off to the side. So there's basically your top part with your threaded 510 connection. Now we're going to discuss these two little pieces right here. These are just extension tubes with nice threads on them. One shorter than the other. Both will need to be used for the 18650 mode, and just the one will be used for the 18350 mode. So I will show you that when I get into the batteries. Down here we have the switch of the Smok Natural. Now it is a side button mechanical switch with a little locking mechanism right here, this little ring around the switch. Now this has been one of the things that has annoyed me a little bit with this device. Now, I do like the Smok Natural, but this little ring right here sometimes gets caught up, and you can't see right there, it caught up a little bit, and it won't go down all the way, so it won't fire. So you're just gonna have to, sometimes it takes a little breaking into, getting broken into, and they see, like right there, it won't go down any further, and it's only halfway down. So you got to loosen it up, move it around a little bit, and then there it goes. It's all the way down to the bottom now. But for the most part, I don't lock the switch, but for the ones that do, you may have a little problem with that once in a while. Inside the bottom connection there for your negative post is a stainless steel flat screw. Okay, it's a little spring loaded in there. The thing about this is it has another, it extends through a little Delrin white piece in there with all them little holes in there, if you can see that. Okay, this little post right here, let me just grab my tool right there. Okay, is actually what the switch is going to be coming into contact with. Let me try to get a close up of this. Okay, now this is sitting right here, and if you can see where the switch is firing here, I'm trying to get a good picture of this, and you can see the switch going down and making contact with that little post. That will complete the circuit and allow you to vape. The way this, you can see this is all moving around in there, that little pin, the way this is held into place is with the bottom connector here, there is a little plastic ring in there that this post actually sets in, and it's nice and stable. So when you screw this on there, that is nice and stable, and you can see in there it's not moving. Okay, so now when you fire, it's making connection with that post right there, which completes the circuit with the battery installed. Okay, so let's start off with an 18650 battery right here. Put it in there. Put the one extension tube on there, and the other extension tube on there. Now I will put my top connector on there, and you notice that I can't screw it down all the way because I have this connector up. So for different batteries, flat top batteries or button top batteries, you may need to adjust that to your battery. Okay, so there we go. No wiggle, no battery shaking inside, and we have a nice solid device. Whoa, a nice solid device there. Okay, so now if we want to use it in 18350 mode, we will take off the top piece here, take off the battery, pull in the 18350 battery, drop it in there, take off the center tube, which is the longer of the two, and put on the shorter tube, or shorter, tube connector there. So there we go in 18350 mode. Now when I first got this, I was like, well, it makes only sense that the 18500 would work in here. So I took off this little tube and put on the larger one. It makes only sense that the 18500 would fit in there. So I threw the 18500 in there, 18500 battery, threw it in there, and for some reason it's not going on there. So I loosened it up a little bit. Oh, I got some thread catching, but it's not going on all the way. So what I have come to understand is even with adjusting the pins, there still is going to be spaces if you decide to use an 18500 battery in there. They don't say this is an 18500 battery tube mod, I believe. The sites that I have looked at, they don't say 18500. But if you have a flat top battery 18500, you can, I guess, use it. What you can do is use a kick with this device with the 18500 if you would like to, with the extra tube. And let me just grab my kick real quick. And then just drop the kick in there. Let me bring that all the way up for the kick. Oh, it is. Huh. I thought it fit in there a lot nicer than that. And actually, with the kick in there, I'm still getting a little space in there. So if you're okay with the space, I kind of like a nice clean look. You can use the 18500 with the kick. Maybe you can find a this, of course, this is the 18490s from AW. I'm sure other companies, they have the flat top, will work a lot better and fit a lot easier. So let me just throw in the 18650 now and put this thing together. Okay, so in 18650 mode, there is, come on, don't roll, the Smok Natural. So let's see how it vapes and see what I think about it. Okay, so there you have it. There's the close-up of the Smok Natural. Right now I have it with the Smok RSST Genesis rebuildable atomizer on it. Has the same diameter, has a nice little clean look to it. The one thing that some people might not like is the little space that you will get. Now the adjustable pin or positive post there is all the way down, and there is still a little space. The reason why there is that little space is because the 510 connector does stick out a little bit from the top cap there. There are ways that you can fix that. You can sand down that 510 connector so it is totally flat and flush with the top 10 or with the top cap, and then you will get a nice smoother and cleaner look. Other than that, it's a pretty decent looking device. Nice solid stainless steel, has a nice little pits around the top cap there. The firing button works great. The switch is really nice. One thing that I did mention in the close-up is that the locking mechanism, when you loosen it up and lock it so it doesn't fire, sometimes when you go back down, it just catches a little bit on the lip. Now, maybe just my device. I'm not saying this happens to everyone's. It may be that there's just a little piece of stainless steel still left in there or something, and it probably will work out in time. I just choose not to lock it in place, so I leave it down all the time, and I have no problem. I put it in my pocket, and I have no problem with this going off in my pocket. The spring is a little tighter spring for the switch, so in my pocket it's not gonna fire. I've had no misfires with this device. It works solid. Let me give you a vape. Now I have the RSST on here. This is set at around 0.8 to 0.9 ohms resistance. I have some Bounty Hunter in here from e-cig. Also Night Light Vapor made the juice. So let me give you a vape. This device gives me a great vape. Of course, the vapor production is not going to be determined on the device itself, but rather the setup you have in your atomizer tank or your cardo tank or whatever you put on top, your EVOD or whatever you're vaping with. Excuse me. But as for the Smok Natural, me personally, I haven't been enjoying it. Now, the vaping market right now has many different mechanical devices. You can go anywhere from a Caravella all the way down to a Segali number 3 or whatever for $23, and anything in between. Now, a lot of people think, well, if it's only $30, it can't be a good device, or if it's only $50, it can't be a good device. I don't believe that. I have had great, stellar vapes from a $30, $40 device. And I have had really crappy vapes out of $250 devices. So it doesn't matter on how much you spend, and it doesn't matter what the name is of your device. As long as it keeps you away from smoking cigarettes, that device is the best device on the market. Don't get caught up in the whole thing of I'm only vaping on I'm only have money for I can't afford to buy a certain device. It doesn't matter. What really matters is that you're enjoying it, and that's all that matters. I have seen in a few of the chats, Facebook and on some of the forums, certain people, I don't know if it's sort of like a clique. If you own the Caravella, or if you own the Juggernaut, or if you own the whatever, you're in this little clique. And if you just smoke off of a Segali or a Smok or whatever, that's not cool. I think that if you're enjoying your vape, go with it. That's all that matters. So that's my little rant. Sorry about it. This is the Smok Natural. You can find them over at Exhale Vapors. There are other vendors that also have them. This particular one came from Exhale Vapors. I like it. The Smok Natural. Check them out, folks. Be kind to one another and keep on vaping.